You know how they never made the 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover that they said they were going to make, but they ran out of confidence and chutzpah? They should make a 21 Jump Street Austin Powers crossover. But maybe like Dr. Evil uses a time machine to go back to like the 1950s. So he's not stealing Austin Powers' mojo when he's frozen, but he goes back in time and alters the timeline so that Austin Powers never becomes groovy, and instead he grows up to be like a 1950s like classic American man like Michael Douglas in Falling Down. So then Ice Cube sends Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill back in time because without Austin Powers to stop Dr. Evil used the drill to drill into the liquid hot magma and caused all the volcanoes on Earth to erupt. So they go back in a time machine and they have to convince 1950s Austin Powers to actually embrace the spirit of the 1960s, free love, copious use of psychedelics, hands off my hiney baby, etc., etc. And then like it could be like a buddy cop movie. And I think you could still do, I still think, if anything, the climate is even better for Austin Powers 4, where Dr. Evil starts Evil Coin, but then he rug pulls all of his investors, and one of his investors is Fat Bastard. So Fat Bastard convinces Austin Powers to come out of retirement to get revenge on Dr. Evil for the Evil Coin rug pull. And then maybe if that goes off, the next movie could be like 21 Jump Street meets Austin Powers, and then we could kickstart the whole franchise again. Okay, one of the engines is on fire. One of the pilots is dead, and I've chosen to jump on him, and we've all been killed. I was just gathering information, okay? That was, I didn't expect it to go so wrong so fast. Hello, ma'am. Okay, I have kicked her in the butt and been killed. What a tangled web we weave. I'm going to move past her and just get on the train. Look at that. It's that easy. I just wanted to say hi. I didn't want to kick her in the posterior. Save the day. Okay. We need to hit the brakes. Or, I don't know. We got a fish. Put the fish in the fish bowl. But what the heck is that? We are going to crash. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say we probably didn't make it through that one. Just click on them. See, I guess you're just beating them up? No, we're just vibing with them. Oh, no, we're eating them. Okay, unexpected. I was thinking, like, scissors makes the most sense for the next one. Maybe you could cut the fuse. Scissors kind of hard to draw, though, dude. It's a very dangerous thing to be drawing, but I'm doing my best. I think that's pretty good. No, he went over. Thought we did pretty well, though. Dab on him. How long did that? I mean, that only took 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. How droll, Niles. Niles, that's more of a non sequitur than a McPixel solution. Be that as it may, Fraser. Maris and I are getting a divorce. I didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday, but somebody in chat said, what if George Costanza used the Infinity Gauntlet to beat traffic? And I like the bit, that's some of the genius of Seinfeld, is that the bit just pops into your head fully formed when you get like the outline, right? So you could see Jerry being like, you snap to beat traffic? Jerry, have you ever tried to make it across town during rush hour? They're lucky I only snapped once, Jerry. I could have been snapping all day. You're sick. You're sick. Rather than break up with her, you snapped her? It's the Mind Stone, Jerry. Wait, before I slash marker, what the hell is this? NL, I visited Vancouver last weekend. I gotta say, it is the most IKEA head-ass city of all time. What does that even mean? What is IKEA head ass? It means the whole city was flat pack. What does this mean? All the buildings look like IKEA furniture? I don't think that's true at all. I mean, like downtown, that's not true. You're really making like tall glass skyscrapers out of glass and steel from IKEA? I don't think so. It means getting lost in your forehead like it's IKEA. What does this mean? What are you talking about? Doesn't make any... How do you get lost in Vancouver? Downtown is like the size of, I don't even know. It's like 10 blocks. Just pull your phone out. What are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying. Plus, IKEA has arrows on the damn ground. I will say, and this is not meant to be a knock on the American military, okay? Or the fine individuals involved in it. A colleague of mine when I taught in South Korea went on a couple dates with a member of the American military who also happened to be stationed in Daegu. And I swear to God, he said to her, and then she said to us, "Isn't it amazing how smart Korean dogs are? Because they have to learn Korean to understand their owners." He thought that all dogs just learn English sort of like by default. And then that dogs in Korea would have to learn Korean in order to understand the commands from their owners. Every profession, I'm sure, has people. I mean, I'm sure there's streamers who believe way stupider stuff than that, to be honest. But that is it's always stuck with me, that's for sure. Once I was riding the subway with a friend of mine, and we were sitting down on the subway, and then there was a well-dressed Korean man that was getting off the subway. He was a younger guy, probably like in his mid-20s, and he looked at us. He gave us kind of like a cracked smile. He was like, you know, like we're like, oh, why is this guy? But you get used to having like some attention as a foreigner in Korea. So you're not necessarily looking at it as if like, oh, something's about to go down. That he got off the subway, and he like looked at us through the doors, and he said, "Why are you hiding white bitches?" And I just kind of looked at my friend, and I was like, you know, is this really happening right now? And then he gave us both the middle finger and said, "Why are you hiding white bitches?" And then the doors closed, and he just like ran away. And then, if you're from California and you insult American states, you don't insult Texas. Because you're like, Texas, you know, they got their own thing going on. You insult Arkansas, which is next to Texas, but worse in every single way. I'm sorry. And if you're from Texas, you insult California because you're jealous. It's just... But like the fact that God of War Ragnarok came out 4 days before the nominations and then was like, oh, of course it's going to be nominated for Game of the Year. How does it just... Big Chopper? Just doesn't make sense to me. Why does it matter how recently something came out? Well, this shit is like 40 plus hours long. So like the fact that it just seems like people haven't had time to digest it. I know critics have had it longer, but like... Also, it looks like it sucks. Sorry. I don't understand why, like, the only form of gaming that seems to be rewarded by the Game Awards is third-person action game, where, like, oh, the combat engine is so good, the combat is so fun. That's 4% of the game. The rest of the game is riding around on a dog sled to Jotunheim with a head on your belt that goes, "Kratos, this reminds me of the time me and my brother went to Nibelheim." And then people are like, I hate quips in Marvel movies. Quips ruin Star Wars. But oh, then when Kratos gets quipped, oh, I love it. And then Kratos, in a cutscene, motherfucker can jump 100 feet in the air to get on top of a mountain to fight God. But then he walks into a room and there's like a little lever. The lever is up a knee-high alcove. And he's like, what can I do? And you're like, I think I pick up the crystal and put it on a pedestal. And then I get like a ramp. And then Kratos, have you considered picking up have you seen the crystal over there? I'm not just saying it's like immersion breaking. It just seems like it's putting on airs. Like, why not focus on the stuff that is more fun, like beating the crap out of people with the fluid combat system and the RPG elements and stuff like that, and get rid of this stuff that's like, I can't unlock this door. Why don't you just have him fucking punch through the door and go kill some elves on the other side of it or something and just keep going? I mean, I don't want to say I'm a hero, but we were at the Vancouver Christmas market on Sunday. There's like one ramp you can use to get from one section of the market to the other section, and there was a person at the bottom being escorted in a wheelchair. But the ramp was not wide enough for people to have two-way traffic and allow the wheelchair to come up. I saw the situation. I waited at the top of the ramp, and I hit him with the hand wave, like the come hither gesture, and they were like, thank you. And then I kid you not, I was holding back like a little traffic, like not holding them back physically, but like psychically, I put my arm out to be like, we're just going to take a second here to get them up to the top. And like a 72-year-old man looked at me like I was crazy and then tried to walk down the ramp and force the person in the wheelchair to go all the way back down the ramp so that he could get by them and get to the bottom. Anyway, I did. I Chris Pratt Jurassic Worlded them. And then they got to the top, and there were like 7 people in their party, and they all said, thank you. It was like, I was like, you know what? I am a good person. And then a lot of people look at karmic balance, which is like, oh, something bad happened to me, so now I'm due something like a favor in the future. I look at it the opposite way. I did a great deed, so I neglected to use my signal light the whole way home. I don't want to have a karmic surplus on my cosmic balance sheet. I want to get right back down to neutral, so I drove like a complete shithead the whole way home.